Hello everybody, this is Alex, and today I failed my pre-market checklist, which means that I'm locked out from my account. I'm not allowed to trade when I fail that checklist. And well, that's bad news for me as there are several big runners today. It's good news for you because it's given me the opportunity to use regular market hours to demonstrate how amazing the free simulator is at tradingview.com. Now, I'm somebody who's always going to be encouraging people to pay for a simulator. If you have the money to trade, you have the money to pay for a simulator. And that is definitely the best way to go, is to get real-time data, everything perfect, make it exactly like the real thing. However, not everybody's in a position to be able to pay that kind of money, especially not when they're in training and they might be, taking time off from work or whatever the situation. And so what we're looking at right now, is my pick for hands down the best free simulator out of anywhere that I've ever seen, and I have looked into the subject quite a bit. So what I'm going to do in this video is show you some of the details of how the simulator works and how to set it up and stuff like that. However, I must be very quick to point out that my familiarity with the simulator is kind of old. It's been quite a while since I've used this. Even though I do use simulators frequently, I use a paid simulator, which is Dash Trader. And so my knowledge of this one is a little bit stale, we could say. And so there are a couple of things that I actually don't even remember how I did the first time, and you might have to figure out on your own. But those things aside, let's get into what I can show you. So first we're going to look at how to set up your account, which will happen under the paper trading tab at the bottom generally. It'll look like this. And you pull that window up, and then on the right side there's going to be this little gear which opens up to show you settings. So at any given time you can reset your account to any value you wish. The default is 100,000. I can reset that to 2. I can reset it to whatever I want, and you'll see my balance immediately changes to whatever I typed in. Now next we're going to look at how to set your commissions. So once again in this little wheel there'll be commission settings. That'll open up a sub window, and the only realistic option here is fixed. And I have mine set to $5, and the reason I have mine set to $5 is because that's much higher than what I actually pay. And that's going to be a little tip that I'll insert here, is that if you're training to go live, I definitely highly recommend that you use a more aggressive commission structure, a much more aggressive commission structure in fact, than what you'll be using when you go live. Now over here in the bottom right hand side we have our level 1, which is going to be really important here. You can see it's currently this stock CRIS is currently 614 by 615, and that's the maximum depth of information that you're going to get. You're only going to get level 1. After all, this is a free simulator that gives you more or less real-time data. Who can complain about that? And then at the bottom you have some both fundamental and technical analysis stuff that I generally don't pay attention to. Just above that we have the watch list, where you can see I have a selection of stocks that I was watching for the purpose of this video. And to add a symbol, you simply hit that little plus sign and then put it in whatever it is. Well, I guess that one's already on there, but anyway, it'll add it to the list here. Let's use something that I definitely don't have. So yeah, now it pops up on your list, and then just single clicking it will bring it onto the chart. And now in between the watch list and the chart we have the order entry window. Now even though somebody like me who's incredibly dependent on hotkeys and fast execution and just speedy everything, this order entry window is going to be a bit of a hiccup in your game plan, that's for sure. However, it is pretty thorough. So you get 3 different kinds of orders that you can put in. Those are market, limit, and stop. And in order to either buy or sell, you just click the top part up here where it says buy and sell. And that'll change your order type from a buy to a sell, or from a sell to a buy. And then once you have valid information put in, let's say I want to do a stop order at the high of day, which will be 637 something or other. And then let's say I want to buy 100 shares. So this is going to be a stop order, which means it's only going to execute with the price above that level. If I hit that buy button right now, you're going to see that pop up on the chart, and then I can adjust it by moving it around like this and modifying the order. Now doing this quickly is going to take some practice. I spent about 3 hours last night getting reacquainted with this. Coming from Dash Trader, it's a really big switch. But if you're not familiar with anything at all yet, and you're just starting, then this shouldn't be too much trouble for you at all. So next we're going to look at the chart, which I'm sure most of you are familiar anyway. I'm not going to spend too much time on that. The one thing I do want to show is that this charting software has the ability to have magnetic horizontal lines, which means that the line, when you're aiming it, like I am right now, it's going to move along with the 4 points of information that are contained within any given candlestick. So, for instance, like something I like to do pre-market all the time is mark out daily resistance. And the way that I would find that and mark it accurately is by just moving close to the top of the candle, and then I know that my placement of this line was perfect. And if I cursor over the candle, you'll see that the high was 637.32. If you look at the top of the screen there, there's where the open, high, low, close are. And then if I look at where the line was placed, indeed it was 637.32. So this is a very good bonus. I know I certainly don't get this with Dash Trader. They do not have this feature, and it bugs me a lot because I have to, spend a lot of time placing my horizontal lines to mark out support, resistance, and whatever else. So the next thing we're going to look at here is the order entry window, or the orders summary window, rather. Now, in order to have any data, I'm going to have to take a trade here. So let me just quickly get in and out of something. So I just bought 1,000 shares at market of CRIS. I don't care about the strategy here. I'm just trying to produce some orders. And we'll maybe even do another one that gets canceled. 740, 1,000. And then we'll cancel it. All right. So now what we have is some order history. So this order history is what you would use if you were to be simulating a live account using this simulator. You would take your order information from this window and you would plug it into whatever trade tracker that you're using to keep track of your results. And a little helpful detail here is that they have subtabs. So orders that are working that are not yet concluded one way or another, it's going to be under the working tab. Inactive is a category I'm not 100% sure of. Filled, obviously, is going to be ones that have gone through. Canceled, ones you canceled yourself. And then if you just want to see all of it all at once, it'll give you the status in different colors in this column right here. And I just realized I forgot to show the positions window, so we'll get involved in something again just to show you what that looks like. Again, I'm just buying at market, and then you'll see that my order goes through. This is my average fill price. It gives me the last price as well, and then my profit, which will go up or down depending on the movement. So you can easily flip between orders and positions just like this, which I have found is actually, it cuts down the difference of time. So like with this order entry window, with this simulator altogether, because there are no hotkeys, it's very difficult to manage trades sometimes. And this is one of the things that I find very useful, is being able to flip back and forth. So if I have, let's say, like a sell order pending, let's say I'm planning to sell at 740, the position that I just bought, and that's at limit, the order is going to pop up. And let's say I want to cancel that order for whatever reason. I decide, no, I don't want to sell there. I can go right here and just cancel that order very quickly, and it'll disappear. I can also click the little button on the chart. However, I know for sure that the order showing up on the chart is something I did myself. And like I stated at the beginning, I'm very rusty with the simulator, so I don't exactly know how I did that. Now, that's pretty much it for the description of how things work. And that's the stuff I wanted to get out of the way, because what I really want to talk about here are the important differences between this simulator and a normal account, whether it be a paid simulator or a live account. And there are two things that I really want to talk about. The first is you have unlimited buying power, which obviously is a hugely unrealistic thing. Let me go ahead and demonstrate that by first closing the position I just opened. And now let's take note down here that my account balance is 1840. So if I were to have the 4-to-1 leverage that I'm supposed to have in a normal broker, I should only have buying power of 7,320 would be my maximum if this is multiplied by 4-to-1. However, what you'll notice is that if I put in an order to buy, let's say 100,000 shares, okay, I have maximum 7,300 in buying power. This order is going to cost 666,000 USD, and as soon as I hit buy at market, that position is going to be open in my account. And so what you can see is this is grossly unrealistic. You have to be on top of making sure that your orders are going to be realistic. It's not going to happen by the software. There is no setting that you can choose to make this realistic. So this absolutely has to be something that you stay on top of. Otherwise, you're going to be simulating unrealistic things, and that will definitely hurt you later on. Now, the second thing I want to talk about, as that position is losing 30,000, the second thing I want to talk about is the volume. The volume, I don't think I've ever seen an instance of the volume being accurate on TradingView, at least not with the free simulator. I'm sure their paid services are flawless, but in the simulator, it is very unrealistic. So if we take a look at this chart on CRIS, which, by the way, down here in the total volume, that is generally going to be accurate. It'll only be updated not very frequently, but it will be accurate. I'm talking about the volume here, which is not accurate. So what we're looking at is Chris, and you can see that the highest volume bar of the day is claiming that it was 570,000 shares. But if we look at all the volume throughout the day, it certainly doesn't add up to the 200 million. So what I've noticed, the pattern that I've been able to take out of comparing this simulator to my top-notch data that I receive from my live account, what I've noticed is that the volume patterns are accurate in that, yes, the volume went like this, but the numbers are generally way reduced on TradingView in this simulator. Now, exactly why that is, why the patterns are good and why the numbers are not, I just don't know. But I do think it's something that you should take note, that you shouldn't pay attention so much to the actual number of the volume, but more the pattern. And that's generally true anyway when strategizing, but it's especially more important here when you're using the free version of TradingView. So I think that's going to be a wrap for this review on TradingView Simulator. Once again, I must stress that this is by far the best product on the market in terms of free simulators, and it's not even close. I haven't seen anything that even scratches the surface of the realism that is offered here. And even though the realism that is offered here is not really that realistic, it is the best that I have ever found for $0. And so this is absolutely the one that I recommend you use if you have an extremely tight budget or no budget and you still want to learn trading. And I think this is even more important for those of you who are not at the point where you should even be paying for a simulator. If you don't know what a halt is, if you don't know how to interpret news, if you don't know what a short float is, if you don't know the basic things about the market, I don't think you're really at the level where you should be paying for a simulator. I think more than anything, your time should be spent researching more than trying strategies. You should just be learning about this stuff. You'll learn what these terms mean. Go on Investopedia and just look at definitions. But to save you that rant, I'll just conclude here by saying that if you have a limited budget, and you're looking for a $0 per month live simulator, don't even bother looking anywhere else. I've done the research for you. This is the answer. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it, found it helpful, and I do understand that there's probably a lot of questions that I left unanswered here, and I did that because I figure the best way to deal with it is on a case-per-case basis. So if you feel that there's something, some setting that you saw that you're not sure how I got there, just write me a comment, and if enough people feel the same way, then I'll clarify the subject either in writing or I'll make a video like a part 2 and try to explain whatever it is that's confusing you. So thanks for watching, and see you next time.